Hello everyone, today we will be dealing with Spring Boot with JPA. So going to a little past, when we see the properties, how the property is to store in the database, we can find that initially JDBC came with properties of storing data one by one in different columns. So this is not a good idea to store different data one by one of an object. So then came the different tools like Hibernate, top links, etc., which used to work on ORM, that is object relational model, which says that to provide the different property of an object and directly take that object and store in the database. So this was a good idea, and companies started using different ORM tools. But problem came when company tried to switch from one ORM tool to another. So switching from one ORM tool like Hibernate to top link, and it requires lots of coding and lots of changing the properties of different data, because their tools work on different properties and different tools had their own properties. So this was a hectic task. So then came the Spring Boot with JPA. It says that we are having our own specification of JPA, just provide the dependency of the tool and we will change the ORM according to the dependency which we have provided. So this is a much easier task to work on Spring Boot with JPA and Hibernate. So different prerequisites are there, like we want an ID like Eclipse ID and JDK 1.8 or later, or Gradle or Maven which you are using. So let's proceed further and do the coding in our ID, that is in Eclipse ID. Go to the other and click on Maven. So this is our Maven project, and we will name it as Spring Boot with JPA, and I'll click on finish. So we are having our application. So what we will do, we will first provide the dependency. And what dependency we are talking about? The dependency we are talking about is this, that is the dependency of the tool, that is where we are working on Hibernate, and the database, like I am using Oracle. If you are using MySQL, just provide this dependency. So for Oracle I am providing this dependency as I am using the Oracle only. So I have copied this and I will paste in the pom.xml file, so that jars regarding this will be downloaded in our project, Maven project. So let's see, jars has been downloaded, or you can directly go to the online and go to the Maven repository, like Maven repository, and here you can find the links for different dependencies. So for Hibernate you can directly download from Hibernate. Here is the ORM Hibernate, and depending upon the type of version, just select that version and you will get the Maven dependency. Like here it is. Just copy this and provide in the pom.xml file. You will get the dependency regarding this. And for like you are using MySQL, you provide MySQL connector, and you can get the MySQL connector also. And depending on the version, just select that version and select the dependency and provide in the pom.xml file. So we are having our Spring Boot application ready, and with different jars. So what other thing which we require is to create a table in the database, like I have created the one, that is Java user. If you select this, see what we have got. We got ID, name and address. So the same thing I will do. I will provide a class in the package. I will provide a class with the same name. Go to new, create a class Java user, and I will click on finish. And in this, what I will provide this only, ID, name and address, so that it will be mapped to that object only. So I will provide private int ID and private string name and private string address. So these are three entries which we have provided in the database, and we will create the setters and getters and two strings method. Go to the source and click on return setters, select all, click on OK. And one more thing is toString method. Go to source, create toString method and click on OK. So our object class, model object class is ready. This is the model class and our object ORM is this, that is the table is this Java user with ID, name and address. So this is the Java user with ID, name and address. This is the ready. So one more thing we have to do, that we have provided the different jars for Hibernate and database, that is my Oracle, that is this one. If you do Control Shift F, then everything will be aligned properly. So Oracle and Hibernate, but what we have to do is to provide the properties of Hibernate. So what I will do, in this src folder I will go to main, and here I will provide resources folder, and in the resources folder I will provide meta-inf folder. So in this meta-inf folder I will provide the properties of the Hibernate in the XML file, that is persistence.xml. XML file only. Go to XML file, here provide persistent.xml, and in this what I will do, I will just provide the different properties like JDBC driver, URL and the database name and password. So I am simply copying this and I'll provide in the Eclipse persistent.xml file. So these are the properties of my database, and through these only we can connect to Hibernate and JPA. So I think our set properties has been set, and now we will do the different settings. That is, here only let's go to the main method and provide here as process 10. And before this, what I will do, I will show you how to create, update and delete in the database regarding JPA and Spring Boot. So first I will create an object. So I will use Java user ju is equal to new Java user, and I will set different properties. Ju dot set ID, I will set ID as 1 only. Ju dot set name and set Sumit. Ju dot set address, I will set Bangalore. And when you set these properties, you will have to store in the database. For that, what we actually require is a factory class, and regarding that factory we will provide a manager class and which will store in the database. So for ORM we provide entity manager factory, EMF is equal to persistence. Persistence we fetch or we create an entity manager factory, and in the entity manager factory we will have to provide through which database or to which database properties we have to assign in the entity manager. So in this entity manager, what we will do, go to the persistence class, persistence of XML, and see we have provided persistent unit as name as sample. So I'll paste it here only. The name of the persistent unit, that is sample. So I pasted the name of the persistent unit as sample, and through entity manager factory will get the entity manager. So we'll get entity manager, em is equal to entity manager factory dot create entity manager. So we got our entity manager. So this will do different operations, like we have set the data of Java user, and now we will store in the database. So for storing, we will just do entity manager dot persist, and so persist will provide the object of that entity manager. But how will this JPA will know that this Java user is an entity class? For that, we will have to mark it as an entity. So we'll mark it as entity class. This is the entity, that is javax.persistence, that we used in the Hibernate. As you would have seen the different properties of Hibernate, we will provide entity at that entity when you are using annotations. And similarly as we used to provide ID also for the ID from java.persistence, and so this is our entity class with ID as ID. So primary key as ID, and now we'll go to that our main method, and we'll provide the persist method of entity manager and store in the database. But before storing, what we have to do is we have to create a transaction. For that, we will do em dot get transaction and begin transaction, and after this we'll have to get transaction and commit the code. So after this, hopefully everything will work. So let's first check the database. See, we didn't got anything. Now run this code. It's doing the process. Let's first check. The process is in process only. See, process has been done. So when you check from this, see, we got 1 Sumit and Bangalore. So in this way we can store the data in the database using entity manager. This is just a simple process through JPA. Just create the persistent.xml file and provide the dependency in pom.xml and start using database using annotations. So, and anytime if you want to change the from one tool, you want to switch to other tool, like from Hibernate you want to switch to TopLink or Ibertis, just provide the dependency of that only. So this is just an extra layer of JPA which acts as a specification for different tools. So we will do some other process also, like we have done this to store, and now we will do to update any data. What we will do, just I am commenting this. What I will do, I will just, I am also commenting this. And now I will get Java user, j is equal to entity manager dot find, and in this default method of entity manager, that is dot find, we will have to first provide the class name. So I will provide Java user dot class, and in this second argument we have to provide the primary key of that Java user. So our primary key is ID only, so I'll provide that ID only. So and ID of this is 1. So to fetch this object, I'll provide ID as 1. So, and after this I will print this Java user. So I will print J. So let's run this code. And one more thing, for fetching data we don't require transactions, as this is not a transaction, this is just a data we are getting from database. See, we got data of our Java user, that is ID is 1 Sumit and address is Bangalore. Now what I will do, I have shown you how to create and how to fetch data, and now I will update the data. For that I am removing this part comment, or let's just do the update by after fetching the data. So here I will do j dot set address to Pune. So this find method will find the entry, that is entry with ID 1, that's Sumit in Bangalore, from this method and store in the J, and in that I am changing the data as address to Pune. So before this, let's remove the comments of our transaction part, and here I will do j dot merge method, em dot merge, entity manager dot merge method. In this I will provide the object. So now when I will do the commit, its data from Bangalore will be changed to Pune. So let's run this code. See, our address has been changed from Bangalore to Pune, and let's check from that DB also. So it's changed from Sumit to Bangalore to Pune, and we have done a deletion. We have not done deletion, but we have done the rest of the part. So we will do the deletion also. Just comment this update part, and now I will fetch the data. We will fetch the data with ID as 1, and I will remove this part by using em dot remove, and in this remove I will just provide the object of that user, Java user. And now when I will also comment this, so that as it will not find any data in the database. See, our process has been done. Now when I will run this code, see, we didn't find any row in the database. So in this way we provide the CRUD operation using SpringBoot JPA and Hibernate. So this is just a basic tool and just a simple tool and handy tool to use. So I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching. So I'll paste it here only.